Hey fans, or at least that's what I say. Hey fans all over the world, even though even though I ain't quite sure we all over the world yet. Welcome back to another another session with The Lift on the amazing 102.5 FM. And I'm so excited to be preparing for our discussions for this month. We will be focusing on businesses, all manners of balance and walking in your position while also trying to maintain other stuff. And so today in the studio, we have with us the lovely Rachel. I was going to say Rachel Andrews because that's how I met her, but Rachel Davis right here in the studio with us today. And I'm just excited to have you, Rachel. We're going to have just very good, organic, transparent conversations.
And I'm so excited to be here. Thank you for having me, Dr. Gina.
Yes, I'm glad you're here. Hello to the fam, to your sister, to everybody.
Yes.
But, anyway, today I'm excited because I know that you don't just promote this from a professional space, you live this as a person. So we're going to just start right there with talking about balance. What is balance to you? When somebody says be balanced, what does that even mean?
It's an evolution for me. It's easy to get caught up, and I have gotten caught up in it having to be equal, a balance, right? And so when you sometimes get stuck there like I was, you go, oh, okay, well, got to put some stuff over here, got to put some stuff over here. And understanding that there sometimes is more of a rhythm versus a balance, to me it brought perspective in it's not going to always be the same.
Yes.
You're not going to, your focus and your goals aren't going to always be the same in your business as they are in your personal life, as they are spiritually, all the things that all the hats that you wear. So just finding, or maybe not having such a stringent timeline on, oh, this has to stay balanced during this stretch. But how overall, taking your view up a little bit, and looking down and saying, overall, am I developing a balanced rhythm? Because sometimes business is going to be up, sometimes it's going to be down. What am I flexing in and out during those peaks and valleys?
Doing the rhythm. So let's unearth that a little bit more and help people get a tangible, I guess, imagery of what that looks like. So you said the many hats. So for our listening audience, and particularly for our nonprofit leaders and for our business owners, because that's normally who we're talking to, that's envisioning maybe 5, 6 hats. As a woman, you're a mom, you may be a wife, a business owner, serve in church, whatever, PTO, whatever. And so when I asked about then define balance, what I heard you say is balance does not necessarily mean equal or the same.
Right.
So our formal traditional way of thinking about balance is I have 10 hours, I need to put 2 hours in every hat so that I'm balanced. And your theology about that is different. You're saying it's not about the equality and measurement, but about your word was rhythm.
It was about the rhythm.
Rhythm. So talk to us,
like flexing in and out. So parenting, motherhood, parenting, and marriage, those are usually sometimes you can be defined as more balanced, right? Because sometimes, or depending on what season of parenting you're in, okay? So you're an empty nester, you know, or you have really young children that need a lot of your time. And it's easier to kind of think of that in a balanced way because you're like, okay, I know that they have certain obligations as far as sports, as far as, college application process, because that's where we are now. And you can kind of schedule those things out. And looking at the business. So once you schedule those things out and looking at the summer months, of course, those are going to be less heavy on the scheduling with the parenting hat. But what things do I have as far as marriage go that are all the way through, consistent, because that's not necessarily a flex in and out unless your spouse has something that they really need you to be involved in heavily. So you can schedule that out business-wise, and then even serving on boards in nonprofit, those are going to flex.
Yes,
it is going to be a busier times in your business. There are busier seasons there, and then just looking at it holistically from a January to December thing and saying, okay, during the summer months, I'm going to be heavier on business because the kids don't have this. and having those conversations.
Yes.
With all the involved parties.
Oh, wow,
you know,
that's
we're
good.
Aggie Impact Gala. We're both Black former students of Texas A&M. And you know, gala season is towards the end of the year where
right.
the holidays start to kick off.
And that's busy too.
So what we're doing this summer is front loading a lot of the pre-planning, all the things that we can do, and of course that takes away an hour, 2 hours a week. And I have to communicate that to my family, like, okay, this is gala time. It's not peak time.
Yes.
But the more work I do now here, then when it gets to the week before gala and I'm gone for the weekend, then you guys understand that I've laid out a plan.
Yes.
So then it flexes back.
It's the ebb and flow. That's what you mean by the rhythm.
Right.
Ebb and flow.
But I think I got caught up early in my professional career. Of feeling like very reactive to that.
Yes, versus proactive planning.
Yes.
Okay.
And once I was forced to make the switch, because if you don't pay attention to it, you'll be forced to at some point.
Yes.
And your relationships may suffer, your health
will suffer.
Yes. And you will be forced to put in those times of self-care, the times of rest, address your health issues, things, and your relationships. So just making it a priority for business owners, for people in general, but definitely for business owners, because health is wealth.
Yes. And that's the space. So you've given us a lot to unpack. I want to talk a bit about communication, because you talked about that. I hear the underlying thread is processing your priorities, right? Because you got to know, what hats am I even investing in? I loved your imagery of rising up, big picture, and thinking about time, and at the same time. So for our listening audience, again, small business owners and nonprofit leaders, these nuggets are very valuable, because most often we are our business. So unlike maybe major corporations where you can really push things off and delegate it to 10 other people somewhere, we understand that you are it. So being able to really get these nuggets that Rachel is dropping on us real fast is really critical. So firstly, we want to make sure you understand. When I asked her about defining balance, she was very clear that balance does not mean equal and same. Many of us have that traditional imagery in our minds of a scale, and we think that it should be the same. It should be leveled. And I'm very clear that you're saying that's not necessarily what balance is. Balance is finding the ebb and flow, the rhythm that allows you to move. In there, though, you said, so then that causes us to have to address these rigid rules that we have about time, right? So if I'm saying I'm going to school while being a mom, a wife, working in ministry, and I got to be finished by December of 2024, balance to you is being able to say, but who said December 2024?
Right.
Right.
When you're looking at it from a higher altitude, and if that doesn't make sense, taking partners, to me, is very important to have your personal board of directors that you can tap into and say, and these are people who you know, love, and trust in your very tight-knit circle.
In your world,
may not be in your area of expertise, may not be, but these are the people who can pull your coattail, have been there, done that. B, know you fundamentally to the core, and support you. So your personal board of directors are important to be involved in those decision-making processes and to push back. Because I have several actually, who will say, is that realistic? Where did you get the goal? And do you feel like you would be able to maintain that rhythm that you value in your life by pushing for that goal?
Even right now at this time. So listen, I'm gonna have to grab a pen from my beloved Reggie, who over there to help us, because you be dropping nuggets, and I be wanting to circle back to make sure the people understand the different components. So what we're gonna do is, well, she gave me one very good. Reggie was getting up, y'all. That's my human engineer. I'm gonna tell y'all about him in a minute too. But anyway, we're gonna circle back for y'all who are thinking, okay, I want to know more about what is this whole concept of personal board of directors. I got that one down. We've talked a bit about the definition of balance. So if we have to do more clarity with that, we will. time, that big picture. I want to have you, when we come back from break, talk a bit about how do we release ourselves from these rules that we put on our own lives, right? I don't know if we're gonna make it through this whole list. And then communication. I love that element of knowing that you're not operating in a silo. And so you would communicate. And then there was something else you said about you used to live being reactive, but now you're intentional about being proactive and planning. Y'all see how she done dropped a whole session on us right there? So we're going to come back because we want to make sure, more than getting through all of our notes, we want to make sure that you understand, that you really, in the listening audience today, if you just heard this segment today, you would at least have one nugget that would help you really begin to balance out your life. We want you to survive your life, but go beyond surviving to thriving. So y'all stay right here on the amazing 102.5 FM. We're going to come right back with Dr. Rachel. We'll talk about that part too. All righty, we'll see you in a moment.